It is.
Oh,
Da-dum. Alrighty.
hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunch and Learn with our level 2 students. This is a hour-long segment where we talk about business and marketing of being a life coach. We'll answer all those questions and even questions not related to business and marketing. We'll just answer those too.
Any questions you have?
Yeah, it's whatever. Me and Brooke, though, aren't the final arbitrators of knowledge. So if you have your own answer or you want to give your own feedback to someone else's question, feel free to jump in. We love the interaction. Brooke, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am Brooke. I am the Chief Strategy Officer here at Certified Life Coach Institute. I am also a marketing and business strategy expert. And if you have any questions in that space, I'm happy to help you. I'm also a coach. I have my ACC. So anything you might like to know, I'm happy to be here. Anthony?
And I'm Anthony Lopez. I am the project director with Certified Life Coach Institute. Done some business and marketing with Brooke as well, with a focus on copywriting and copy editing. So I love writing. So I think we should start then. Who would like to go first with a question?
Crystal, Olivia?
Crystal. Yep.
Oh, sorry, I'm chewing.
Can you hear me clearly? Hi, my name is Crystal with Unleash Elite Coaching, and one of my questions that I have is, how do you really get clients? So once we get certified, how do we get clients through the door? Because I know this whole image is that, you know, I'd say, okay, Crystal, you want to start in a month. How do I get clients in the door?
Okay. Yeah, I got a first question. Is it a metaphorical door or is it a real door? Because that's an important question. Are you trying to get online clients or are you trying to get in-person clients?
I want to get online clients.
Okay.
I want to, who is your ideal client?
So I target professional women that are working women in the professional world that unfortunately have low self-esteem, and they need someone to kind of coach them with self-esteem.
How does that manifest in their job? Or I guess not in their job. Oh, go on.
Yeah. It's not necessarily their job. I mean, they have less self-esteem at the job. They could have went through an event in life. They could have got bullied. It could be social media. Now with the social media era, you know, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not good enough. You know, it could be a lot of different factors why that woman is, for whatever reason, does not have self-love, does not have self-esteem. It could have been an event that happened to why she didn't have it. But the idea here is to take them from not having that self-love, not having that self-esteem, to now what they actually want, right? The pleasure point of, I am confident. When I walk into a room, I have confidence. I own who I am. I have confidence in the relationship or whatever that may be. So really building that self-love, that self-confidence is what I focus on in my coaching environment.
So a couple of questions. You're still pretty general, as much as, so when I say ideal client, I want one person, how old is this woman?
This person is between, she's working professional, so she's probably in her 27-ish to maybe 47-ish, 50.
I'm not 27 to 47. I have a very specific age. So let's give her one age.
Okay.
Age.
One age. Let's say 30s. She's 35.
She's 35.
Yeah.
And what's her name?
Her name is Kimberly.
Kimberly. Okay. So Kimberly, and what does she do for a living?
Kimberly is a top executive at a bank and operations department.
So what will get Kimberly through your door?
What she may see on my website. Like her looking.
How is she going to find your website?
I'm thinking of SEO optimization website.
That's going to take a year for it to work for you.
You said that's going to take a year? Okay.
Yeah, SEO takes about a year for it to start to become effective. So you're going to probably need to do some other things in the meantime.
Okay.
what, so SEO, it's a good start. Not saying you should not do SEO. You absolutely should do SEO and
Yeah,
website. That's
Okay,
very important. But just
tell
know
me.
that it's a long-term game with SEO. SEO is something
Okay.
that takes a while for it to start to work, and you got to keep working at it. And something that takes about a year for you to start to see payoffs.
Okay,
Um,
okay, okay.
That's just the natural course of things because Google wants your brand new sites. Google's like, this site is not, nobody cares about this site. So
Okay.
you have to take the steps to sort of get it legitimate in Google's eyes. And that takes about a year for it to happen.
Okay.
So beyond that next step though, so then where else are you going to reach Kimberly?
I was thinking some social media, social media or email marketing, based off some information that my business coach has given me.
Well, email marketing is I mean, it's one of the best, it has the highest conversion rate in marketing,
Okay,
sorry, out of anything else. That being said though,
okay,
there's steps before that, right?
right. I gotta get email.
You gotta get their email, right? That's
Right.
that's big. How are you gonna get their email? So there's a lot of different ways. How is Kimberly? Well, let's do this. Two things. I have two questions. So what is Kimberly looking for?
Confidence. She's looking for someone to help her through the growing pains of how to build confidence, how to work towards, because confidence is a process. You don't wake up tomorrow and just have confidence. You don't have one session and all of a sudden I'm confident now. It's a process. It's having tools and resources that are given to you. It's a process. So it's
What
going
is-
through that process.
I've got a good question.
Wait. Let me ask one more question before you go there. Anthony, hold it though. I want you to still ask it, but I want to just sort of, how is she looking for help in this space?
How is she looking for help? She's maybe Google. I would think that she's Googling it. She's on, I don't know, Google. She may be using social media to maybe look up coaches or something in her area. This is just me brainstorming. You tell me, you're the expert. I'm asking questions. I'm asking you questions.
I'm not the expert because I don't know your ideal client. You know your ideal client better than I do.
Okay.
So
On that note of getting to know your ideal client,
Okay.
that Kim was a top executive.
She is.
What does she have to not be confident about? She's at the top.
Am I telling you the truth or I'm giving you an example of a client?
We're using
Well,
Kim.
Yeah, I'm using Kim. Okay, so Kim is just struggling with self-confidence in a matter where she doesn't think that she's good enough for whatever, to start her own business. She wants to branch out on her own. She wants to build up that confidence to maybe start her own business. She wants to leave from her executive job to entrepreneurship, and she's afraid. She has fear. She lacks the confidence.
So now Kim has an objective.
Yeah.
She doesn't just want confidence. She wants confidence to do something or to have something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She wants something such as starting her own business.
I was like,
Yeah.
don't say something,
Being
say
an
starting her own
entrepreneur.
business. Yeah. If she wants to start her own business, yes.
Yeah.
How can you as a coach facilitate that?
Giving her steps towards that. What is the unblocking of why you feel like you can't do it?
What will she be looking for if she wants to start her own business? Is she looking up how to start your own business, or is she looking up I need self-confidence?
Let's go back to self-confidence, because I don't specialize in business. I just threw that idea out there, but let me tell you what I really do so I can get the help that I need. I just randomly said that. Kim has okay, so let's use another client. So Kim, 35, executive, it's about love. Maybe she doesn't, maybe when she grew up or something like that, she was always the outcast of the family. She didn't really have that self-love. She was always overlooked. So she just wants to be seen.
So
self-love, confidence.
What you've done though is you've sort of discarded. So what's important to know in this is that what Anthony asked was very important. How is this not showing up in her life? How is this lack of confidence not showing up in her life? How is it affecting her life?
Okay.
What problems is it causing for her on a day-to-day basis?
Okay.
Or is it keeping her from doing? And so the question he asked was very important. So don't just throw that out.
Okay.
Do not just throw that out. So
Okay.
you've gotta, and the reason it's called micro niching, you've gotta whittle it down to that level, right? So
Right.
if that is what Kim's goal is, then that's a whole way we go with that, right? If Kim's
Okay.
goal is to open a business, then that's who you're marketing to. When you say confidence, that's way out here. Like I can't, if somebody said to me, I sell confidence, I would be like, okay, but I'm not gonna buy that. I'm not buying confidence. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy what the benefits of that confidence. I'm gonna buy what I want and what I need and the appearance of that. So
So,
that's why it's important to know what she wants and what she needs and not to just discard that question
Okay.
being asked.
Okay.
And
So
finally,
yeah.
I was going to say finally as well, when she's got her day-to-day issues with confidence,
Okay.
people live their lives, without fixing their problems. They can be born and then die and never have fixed their problems before. There is
Okay.
something though that is, Brooke, I'm forgetting the word. It's like
The inciting incident.
inciting incident. I was going to say a kick in the ass moment, but what is the inciting incident that kicks her ass into gear and saying, I need help to fix this?
It's into like, it's what.
Oh, cycle. Okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's what gets it moving.
Because Kim can just type on the internet, how do I get confidence? She'll get inundated with blogs.
Yeah.
She might get, if she wants to start a business, she might seek out consultants or somebody to literally tell her what to do. But she wants somebody to coach her and to help her along the way and not just be given answers. So what is it in her life that is inciting her to do so?
Can we go back to the first thing that I said? Well, actually, the second thing that I said, as far as that self-love and confidence, and you asked me what did she want. So I'll make sure I understand. The question is, she wants to break that cycle of like people maybe getting over on her in her love life, and people to respect her boundaries.
Okay.
Is it safe to assume that she's single then?
Yeah, seeing that she's single, or maybe she had a relationship, or that the man is always walking over top of her, or she feels like she has to do more in the relationship to, I don't know.
So we've gone to like all different places, right, with this now.
Right. That's why I asked to come back. I want to come back to it. I want to get away from the business.
So,
I want to get to what I actually tune into. So that's why I asked, let's come back to it. So my apologies for confusing you all, but I would like to come back to that.
So that's fine. That's fine. So you want to work with professional, like Kim, who's a professional
Right.
woman. She's
Yeah.
single.
Yes.
She's had a bad run of relationships and she's sick of it.
Yeah.
So maybe she's fresh out of a breakup or something like that,
Yeah.
which would be your inciting incident, right? You're talking to a woman that's basically been broken up with someone again, and
Yep.
she's 35 and she feels like crap. I'm almost 40 and I've got I need to get my S together and figure it out because I don't want to, I keep being in these relationships that are unhealthy.
Yes. Correct. You said perfect. Yep.
That's a very specific thing. So now we know what Kim wants, right?
Okay. Right.
We know what Kim's been through, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We can talk to Kim. And we can get in, we can start to speak her language, can't we?
Yep.
So then where is Kim at? Now this is a whole other thing. So where is Kim at on the internet?
Google, I would say Instagram, YouTube.
Is she on dating sites?
She could be.
Curious.
This particular client is not. She's not on dating sites.
She's I don't want to deal with that. I'm with her there.
She's not on dating sites. She's like, no, creeps. There's weirdos out there. I don't want to be on that. So she's like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm old school Crystal. I'm not doing it. If I meet somebody through someone or randomly at the grocery store or wherever, then I'm open to that.
Yeah, where is she networking?
At professional events.
And but where's she getting her community?
She has a lot of family and friends. So there's like there. Because she's an executive at bank. She's networking with different bank events. She's also networking at little private events with her. Was it Chamber of Commerce and some other little nuances like that. So I would say,
That's where you,
or
why can't you be there? Why can't you be at the Chamber of Commerce as well?
yes, okay, perfect. Right
You have
things
to
out the
your
door.
coaching
Why
business.
can't you be at the same networking events with her?
I sure will be after today. I sure will be.
Yeah, because right there, you're in person, you put your card in somebody's hand, you share what they do, that is mountains higher, better return on investment when it comes to marketing than anything you do on the web. That being said, it's good to have the web there to support you, the website, that information. And figure out, pick one, start out with just one social media, just one.
Okay.
Branch out to the other ones later and pick the one that she's going to be cruising for her personal stuff, not for don't do LinkedIn. I wouldn't say that. I would say you're picking Facebook, you're picking Instagram, you're picking one of those,
Okay.
and be just in that one spot and really tailor your marketing to speaking to not only both her problems and her solutions.
Okay. Both her problems and her solutions. So the 3 Ps. Okay. Okay. The person, the pain point, and the pleasure.
Yes.
Okay. And break that down, niche down a little bit more. So I learned that niche down more. Micro niche down, right?
Yeah, micro niche. It's not even just niching anymore. We're micro niching you. I know, I actually know people, I know marketers that will only work with clients that have a micro niche because they know that there will be success there. Whereas if you're just sort of broadly niched, you're not going to find the same level of success.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. I needed that.
Glad we could help.
All right. Who else has a question?
I'm glad to go through that same exercise if you're willing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And I want to say hi
Okay.
to Sue. Yes.
Crystal, thanks for being the guinea pig.
I'm telling you, it was tough. They was on me.
Woo, man.
Don't mess
Okay.
around.
So I will be very honest. I have really struggled with this. So I learned more from that. So I'll just jump in and start. And so my client is named Brooke. She's 45 years old. She's married with children. She does not work at this particular time, although she had a career to raise the kids, but she has been a professional woman in the past. My particular interest in niche is people that have had past trauma. That could be abuse, it could be divorce, however that person defines trauma for them, but significant trauma in their life, sexual abuse. So that is speaking to that in my marketing is important to me. And so she finds herself disorganized, frazzled, not able to accomplish the goals. She's overcommitted, joyless, perhaps having trouble in her marriage, and is at a point where she's ready to reach out for some coaching. She doesn't feel like she needs therapy. She feels like she needs to be in the present and focused on the future and how am I going to get from where I am now to where I'm going. Anything else you want to know about her? Sorry.
Yeah. A couple things. What does she what does she want? Because again, she can have existed in this sort of, like you said, joyless, overcommitted state for a long time, right?
And she has. I think she wants to get unblocked. And I think she knows deep down that the past trauma is part of the reason that she's sort of blocked from being able to move forward. I would say, I would go so far as to say she's probably had some therapy, but is beyond that and really wants to stay in the present and focused on the future and how to sort of bust through her achieving her goals. She just gets, like I said, overcommitted, doesn't seem to know how to put the boundaries up for self-care and taking care of herself and slowing down long enough to focus on herself and being able to get organized and accomplish her goals. So
what are her goals?
her goals are to be organized, be able to keep her commitments, become less committed, so still have a highly entertaining, fun life, but not, she wants to learn to say no. And sort of get off the hamster wheel and learn how to have boundaries and become much more balanced in how she lives her daily life.
So what's interesting is, as you shared, you talked about getting organized, keep her commitments. I just wrote do less, enjoy her life, learn to
Yeah.
say no, essentially. What is the opposite of all those? So like, what is going on right now for her?
She's just in chaos. Her marriage is suffering. She's doing too much. Her children, nothing is getting 100%. Everything's getting half of her. Nothing is getting a full load.
How does she feel? I put it in I statements.
Exhausted. She's exhausted mentally and physically.
Put it in I statements for me. I feel like, what is she saying to
Oh,
herself?
I feel frazzled, disorganized, overcommitted, tired all the time, and just mentally spent.
I want you to think those. So those are all kind of passive verbs. I feel frazzled. I feel disorganized. I feel mentally. Can you turn those into sort of action words? I am not doing that. I want some ownership. Like, I want to know when she's sitting there at the end of the night, and take a moment and really get into the thought process here and saying, okay, I'm not going to fill in the blank for you here. But she's
Is I'm joyless? Is that an action verb? I'm joyless.
Would she say I'm joyless? Was that what she would say to herself?
I have no joy.
I have no joy.
I feel empty.
There we go.
I feel joy. I feel out of control.
What is feeling out of control?
Life is happening to me, not making life happen. I'm just responding to everything around me. I'm not in charge of my own.
What does feeling out of control feel like?
It's terrifying. It's
Pause for a second. If you hear I feel out of control and I feel terrified, I got goosebumps on I feel terrified. Like, I have goosebumps all over, because that's really right there. That's hitting the emotional bone right there, right? If this is a woman who's experienced past trauma in her life, she knows what fear is. And so she feels scared. She's going back to this trauma state, right? She's going back to this where she isn't. Why? These are the reasons she's not saying no. These are the reasons, right? Because she's ultimately scared. I think that's your sweet spot right there, if I'm honest.
I've got a question as well, and let's let her catastrophize a little bit. What is she terrified of? She's out of control. There's terror there. What is she afraid that is going to happen if she keeps living the way she does?
Or what has happened even?
Well, she's starting to lose friends. She could lose her marriage. She could lose. certainly her confidence is going, almost gone.
Well, it seems like
She doesn't even know who she is.
at this
That's
point.
huge though. I mean, that's huge.
No.
What you just said is huge. She could lose her friend. She's losing friends. She's obviously got turmoil amongst friends and with her in her
Yes.
marriage. She's got turmoil. Right?
Yes.
Mhm. So that's a lot going on there. Sue Bowles brought up a good point in our chat. She says, how do you coach someone still going back to the trauma thought? It sounds like unresolved trauma to me, and there may need to be therapy coupled with coaching. And that's true. That would be, you'd want to be very clear that this is about moving forward. We're not working through the trauma. What we're doing is sort of acknowledging how it shows up today and creating a plan with how to move through that and move forward, right? If that is something they want to do, but make sure that we're very clear about that, and that I would also very much partner for you, huge. This could be a very good opportunity, is to partner with a therapist or several, so that they can even refer to you when that client gets to the point that they're ready to start moving forward. And then you can refer to them when that client is still stuck in that behind you space. But you could develop a very good relationship with a therapist in which you are both able to refer to one another in this space.
Yes.
Yes, and just as a side note, I am taking additional courses in trauma-informed coaching. So that's sort of a niche that's developed, that is out there, and I'm seeking out that training as well, just to have that additional, training in my
Good.
toolbox. But
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's good. I really would recommend making sure you have that relationship with therapists. I think that, all of us
Yes.
as coaches should have good relationships with therapists, and then create that referring relationship back.
totally
and forth,
agree.
especially when we're playing in trauma realms. I'm a big advocate for people who have trauma, because I think almost everybody does. We are coachable as people who have experienced trauma, but the big line there is, where are you in the trauma,
Right.
journey, right?
That's right.
Where are you in the trauma journey? Are you in the space that you're like, okay, this isn't ruining my life anymore, but I see, I want to create tools to deal with things like when it comes up, or anything that's moving into that forward space, and we're not treating. But people who have trauma are coachable. So you can't say that they're not. Being somebody who has it and who has been coached. So, but I also knew when to get therapy. I also knew that this is something that is, this is when I need to be in my therapy space, but I have the training to know that. Not, clients don't all have that training to know when they need therapy and when they need coaching. So we just have to be very conscientious in that space. But that being said, I think that we tapped into some really powerful things with regard to how to speak to your client when you're talking about her losing her marriage, when you're talking about her losing friends, when you're talking about her feeling scared and out of control and frazzled. And those are the ways it's showing up, but we really got to the root there with this, of what her fears are. And then that losing her marriage, losing her friends, those are your inciting incidents, right? Those are what's getting her into action. Is she's somebody that feels like maybe her relationships are hanging on by a thread, or to me, she sounds like a people pleaser. And in my experience, people pleasers tend to be a little more on the HSP sort of vein of folks, where they're much more sensitive to criticism and much more sensitive to anything that goes on that is perceived negative. And so because of that, she might just be very sensitive to any kind of negative feedback that's going on because of friends, because she's dropping her commitments, because she's not following through, and she feels like everything's only getting half of her, part of her, and she's failing everywhere, right? Hi, Nadine, good to see you. Sorry.
Into her fears and, avoiding losing her friends and family and things like that, her marriage. When you build a marketing campaign, what it sounds like at this point is we're talking about loss aversion. Your client is motivated by loss aversion. There's the other side of the coin, though, which is what is the reward with working with you?
Yes.
If we're just focusing on the loss aversion, it's almost missing that other half that's needed to get people in through the door and start paying money for long-term change.
Yeah,
We've got the loss aversion aspect. What are they trying to avoid losing? Now, what do they gain by working with you? What is the reward? And that's not a rhetorical question. That's a direct question to you.
So, I mean, what comes to mind immediately would be, better self boundaries, meaning how she's committing herself and time. Like you said, people pleasing is getting the best of her. So understanding how to say no, balance.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
This is again, we're always wanting to tap into things that people that go back to that emotional place. So when she's able to say no, what does that give her?
Well, it gives her more time. It also makes her feel better about herself and gives her confidence that she's able to turn certain things down that aren't as meaningful to her as others.
So when she's able to turn things down and start to be confident, what does that feel like?
She's learning respect for herself because she's respecting her time and how she uses it.
What is having respect for herself and her time and how she uses it? What does that give her?
An increased self-esteem.
Okay. And what does increased self-esteem feel like?
Feels like she loves herself again.
I noticed there was like a little bit of a tonality change when you said that in your voice. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but you said it feels like she loves herself again. That's pretty powerful, right? If I was a coach, I wouldn't have led you. I would have said, "Tell me about that." Right now.
What does that not just feel like? What does that look like to
Yes.
her, the coach, and people in her life?
She's loving herself again. What is that? What is that? How does that show up in her everyday life?
Well, she's in essence a different person. How she emotes, how she comes across, her conversations, everything about her, her countenance, everything about her shifts.
Let's talk about
Um,
let's talk about that inciting incident. Her relationship, their inciting incidents that her
Her-
relationships are crumbling. So what are her relationships now?
So her marriage becomes stronger. She's more present with her husband. She's more present with her children. The distractions in her head are gone. She's able to be there, really be there with them.
Hmm. What about with her friends? What do those relationships look like?
I think she gravitates towards the people that she values most and has the most investment in and that love her in spite of her faults. And she becomes a stronger, more committed friend.
So they're thriving, just to fill in your blank for you, right? Which is the total
Yeah.
opposite of what, if we really bookmark the inciting incident. I'm afraid I'm going to lose my relationships. The process that she goes through is that she learns how to love herself and respect herself and all of the things that you brought up. And then the end result is she's got solid relationships. She's got with family, with friends, with husband, with, I think it's important if we're speaking to that on the one end, we speak to it on the other end as well.
Well, that's great.
So we only have a few minutes left, and I want to get to Catherine before, so I hope we helped you, Olivia. But I saw Catherine.
Yes, great.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking my question. I have a little bit of a different question without perhaps going into the niche or the avatar that I'm thinking of. I'm wondering what kind of resources are available in the form of grants or contracts to coach underserved populations, people who can't afford to pay for coaching.
They exist. They absolutely do. We actually have had several graduates that have gone through and done this, created entire businesses around serving those people. One of them is BYE, which is what is BY? It's Your Excellence. I can't remember what the B is.
Oh man, I remember those.
I know.
Live with them, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We did. They're amazing. So they have built an entire business. They graduated from us around that. What they do is they're actually serving other 501(c)(3)s, so other charity organizations, and connecting them with the clients. So like that is something that they do, is where they find a charitable organization, then they help them find the clients, and then there's coaching involved and all these other things. And it's very they're able to serve the charity, and they've also are, because they're able to find the clients, they have put it in their business some coaching to figure out what these clients need and things like that, and then connect them to the right charities, which is very, very cool. And they've been able to find grants, they've been able to find government contracts. I would love to put you in contact with them because they have obviously a lot more information and experience in this space with regard to that, whereas I have enough to have dabbled, but not enough to have actually had the need to follow through. That being said, I know there are there's the Women's Chamber of Commerce, which is an organization for women that is based strictly around finding grants and government contracts for women organizations and women businesses. The other Small Business Association, the SBA, has ton of awesome resources in it in this space too. They will help both the 501(c) and also small businesses that want to get loans and grants and things like that.
Are you talking about these are ones at the federal level or the state level?
Small Business Association has both federal and state level information on it. Yes, and so does the U.S. Women's Commerce, the U.S. Women of Commerce, which again we can give you a link to that. We're actually members of it. We've not utilized it, which is kind of funny. We should at some point. But it is their focus is, I can tell you, 100% on that. I would also look, if you're looking on a local level, look to I have done research on this. There's a lot of organizations out there for women and who want to start businesses in this space that will help you on a local level. I know I'm in California, and we have there's the Women's Inland Empire, which they're the Women's Inland Empire Business Association, and their entire purpose is to essentially help women in business find the money, find the grants, find the loans, find what they need, and that's what they serve and they're there for. And I guarantee you, one of the reasons I say women is because there are a lot of organizations specific to helping women and helping women in business and women discover and find these paths. So
I know some of the ones in our local area, I'm in the Chicago suburbs, require the woman to employ at least one other person. So
it can be tricky. Well, but here's the thing though, if you find the grant, right? If you're able to find the grant, you'll be able to employ that person, right?
Good point.
With it. Yeah. So that there's a lot of, you just got to find the way to do that. It's just going to take a lot of research, honestly, and a lot of sort of reaching out to people and finding, and I would love to connect you with BYE. I really would, because I think that they're fantastic. So they're also I think they're in Philadelphia. So, I mean, they're on that side at least. I'm trying to, no, it's no, I think they're in Washington DC. That's where they are. They're in DC. So, yeah.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Olivia.
Yeah, I feel like we sort of, or you sort of were talking about this and then I don't know why it stopped, but I think it was, you were talking to Crystal about where to go to, that, Google takes a year, your website SEO takes a year to really get going. So in the meantime, what should you be doing? And in my instance, would it be just connecting with local organizations that women, are members of that are in the demographic that I just described? Where does that woman socialize? What groups is she in? And join those groups. And
Yeah.
assuming there are many groups, how do you narrow that? How do you, or were you saying that one-on-one passing your business card out is the most effective way to get clients?
It's definitely, I would say if given in a perfect world, I would hand somebody my business card, but I get theirs back. I would never, because then I've captured their information. Like that's critical. I can hand my business card to a million people, but they're just going to throw them to the side. So much more beneficial for me to be able to capture their information and be able and get that in that moment when somebody hands you their business card, they've given you permission to reach out to them again. Right.
Sure.
So, that being said, your woman may not be somebody that's carrying around a business card necessarily or something like that. So where would she be? Where would you find your client? And where there's lots of different things there. So figure out what works best for you to be there and be present. And then also what is working once you're there. If you're in a bunch of Facebook groups for survivors and things like that, you might be able to post in there and figure it out, but you may not be getting any return. So if that's not getting any return, then let go of that and try something else. And see where you can go. The other option too, like I said, I think it would be really powerful for you to reach out to therapists, groups, any kind of organization that is already serving that woman. And so that she's already getting the help she needs to be in the place that she's ready for you. So partnering with those women, or groups or organizations or therapists or people that can say that hey, she's already worked her way through this and she's ready for the next step, and being able to create a sort of symbiosis referral connection with those groups would be really powerful, I would say.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Crystal?
Okay.
And we have 2 minutes.
Let's make it quick. Now, do you guys have a business where you help coaches like develop themselves with their market strategies and stuff like that, or a website we could go through if we needed help with additional resources, niching down, I don't know, just whatever?
I have an offering on our website that that any student can utilize at any time. I've even had people who are about to take the class utilize it. And I'm almost like, wait, you should go take the class and then come back and do this. Typically. Okay. So it's if you go to our website, it's under support and tools, I think.
Well, what's the website? What's the website?
Certified Life Coach Institute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I do a 30-minute session for $99. Be aware though, you want to come in there prepared with stuff to work on. So you're coming through that door like, okay, if it's micro niching you down, then know that, okay, this is what it's about. You want to have that tools and that stuff so that then we can work hard and get a lot done in that session. If it's
like a Zoom or something, back and forth,
like Zoom, exactly.
Interactive.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. And I record them and give them to you so you can go back and refer back to them.
Awesome.
And then as well, we're in quarter 4 right now, but in quarter 1, start of the new year, we're going to be doing staff student coaching again. So if you would like to be coached with the staff, and that's one of the topics you want to cover, once those open up again, I think sometime in January, maybe middle of January,
Okay.
Students are available to coach with the staff as well.
Okay.
Awesome.
For free, yes.
Everybody loves free coaching.
And that offering comes through the Slack. So just stay in the Slack. And then also I put the link to the marketing help as well. It's under the mentoring tab.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Okay, awesome. I loved it. I love you. I love it when don't give me what I want, give me what I need. That's what I love. That's what I like. That's what I love. So I'm so gonna go on there. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. All right, we're gonna end the live. Thank you guys out there for watching. Thank you, Sue, thank you, Sue. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you guys so much for watching and participating. And it's good to see everybody. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the live. Make sure you guys check out Certified Life Coach Institute. I am not gonna end this